Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about types of hosting and all you need to know. But before we get started, let's talk about what is web hosting. Web hosting simply means the service of storing a website or hosting it on a server. So what this actually means is that every website is stored on a server. Your site server makes it available for audience or users to the web. So what this means is that it makes it available for them to access your website on the internet. So your web host or your hosting company is the company that owns and maintains the server that hosts your site. So what this means is that this company often provide helpful resources, they give support, and of course they also provide services like domain registration and custom email addresses, which I'm going to be suggesting a company by the end of this video. So choosing the right web hosting services for your website is an important thing that you need to consider. This server imparts your website security, the performance, and of course the availability. So when you pick the wrong hosting company, it could affect your site's ability to expand and of course to reach lots of visitors. So your hosting company plays a very important role in keeping your website safe and making sure that it stays up and running. So if your host offers a poor customer support or does not maintain its servers regularly, your website will likely suffer for that and might be inaccessible. So guys, if you want to use a hosting plan that fits your specific needs and budget, you need to go for the right hosting company instead of wasting your money on free host or hosting company that do not have the capacity to handle your website. So guys, we are going to be talking about the 4 common types of web hosting. Number 1 is the free hosting, which is very common, and number 2 is the shared hosting, and number 3 the VPS hosting, and number 4 the dedicated hosting. So we are going to be talking about these one after the other. So guys, as you can see on the screen, these are the 4 hosting types that we are going to be discussing in this video. The first one is free hosting, the second one shared hosting, the third one VPS hosting, and the fourth one dedicated hosting. So we are going to be discussing this one after the other. So we'll talk about the pros and the cons of each of these hosting type. So guys, if this is your first time in this channel, please do well to click on the subscribe button if you have not subscribed, and of course make sure you share this video with others so they can benefit from this tutorial. So guys, the first one on the list is free hosting. So as the name says, free hosting means non-paid hosting service. So the thing about free hosting is that it comes with limited resources, limited support, limited features, and so on. But nevertheless, it can be the right choice for people who want to start a personal blog, or people who want to start a small website, or people who want to do tests on a website, who want to try and build a website just for testing purposes. So this free hosting can actually go a long way to serve them, because they are not going to be paying for anything at all. So some free hosting company, they also offer free domain as well that you can use to start up, while some they require you to get a custom domain and then you make use of their hosting their free hosting services. So no matter what is your purpose of going for a free web hosting, you should put the most significant amount of effort to find the reliable one, because there are some that you will not enjoy at all, while there are some that are still kind of a little bit reliable, that can still accommodate your website for some time. So if you're a startup or a hobbyist, a blogger who wants to build a website without breaking the bank, then look for an ideal free web hosting service that you can actually use. So there are a lot of free hosting services out there that you can use to host your website. Now, one thing you need to consider is that this free hosting, what you need to understand is that they come with limited resources, number 1, and number 2, some of them they have annoying advertisement, and of course yeah, the FTP access. For those who know what FTP means, which is a file transfer protocol, sometimes you do not get access to this, so you need to understand all of this. And of course, the server space is very limited, and the customer support, some you get no customer support at all, while some the customer support is very limited. So these are the things that you need to consider when it comes to getting a free hosting. So now, if you cannot deal with all of these, you can decide to go for the paid hosting plan, which we are going to be talking in the next section. These hosting plans are very cheap and they are good to manage as well. So the next one on the list is shared hosting. So shared hosting plans are the common type of hosting plan for website owners. On this type of plan, a single server is shared among multiple users. So that means a single computer, that is a shared server, we host different websites, lots and lots of websites. So that is our shared hosting work. So although you will share resources with other users, you don't have access to their files. So you don't have access to their private information on or any of their data. So the upside to share hosting is that they tend to be cheap, since hosting providers can divide server upkeep costs among multiple users. So one thing you also need to understand is that share hosting does not always have the best reputation, but the quality of the service you will get, this all depends largely on your hosting provider. So when it comes to choosing a shared hosting, you need to make sure that you go for a reliable one, which I'm going to be suggesting one at the end of this video. So shared hosting are probably your best option if you are in the market for starter web hosting. So if you are just starting a website, or you want to build a mini website, or you just want to build a website, you can go for a shared hosting plan. So another thing you need to remember is that many web hosts want to lock you into a multi-year contract to get the best rate. So that's not necessarily a bad thing if you are sure about the web host that you are using. Now let's talk about the advantages or the pros of shared hosting. It is easy to find plans for less than $5 per month, or even 500 naira per month if you're a Nigerian. And depending on your hosting provider, you can get excellent performance on even mini website or even medium website. While the disadvantage is that shared plans often don't perform well for websites with heavy traffic, and of course, for the best rate, we often have to sign up for a multi-year contract. So shared hosting is good if you're a beginner, you are going to enjoy it. And of course, shared hosting should also be good for those that just want to learn how to build a website and they're looking for where to host it. So guys, that is all for shared hosting. So we are going to be moving on to the next one. So guys, the next one on the list is VPS hosting. So VPS stands for Virtual Private Servers. So these are a step above shared hosting. So when it comes to performance and customization, then VPS hosting is actually the right choice. So on a VPS plan, a single physical server will contain multiple virtually partitioned sections. So each section of VPS acts as a complete system devoted or allocated just for your website. So what this actually means is that VPS provide a higher degree of isolation between users, in the sense that you will share the same physical server. Nevertheless, the setup can enhance performance and of course boost security. So depending on your hosting provider, you might be able to configure your VPS from scratch and get exactly the resources that you need. So to give you an idea of what you are looking for, a single core VPS of like 1 gigabyte of RAM is enough to run a simple WordPress website. So however, figuring out the precise amount of resources you need for each project can sometimes be tricky. So this might make a VPS a less attractive option if you are new to web hosting. So what this actually means is that with VPS hosting, you may not get access to a control panel out of the box, so which means you might have to use the command line to configure your server and set up a website. So if you don't have experience, it can be sometimes complicated. So VPS is very good, and sometimes you can get it between the range of $10 to $20 per month, or 3,500 to 10,000 naira per month, so depending on the features of the VPS plan that you are going for. So the advantage of VPS is that you get fully dedicated resources for your website, and it is good for websites with heavy traffic. And secondly, depending on your host, you might be able to configure your VPS to your specific needs. And let's talk about the cons, the disadvantage. Sometimes configuring a VPS often requires some technical skill. So if you don't know how to do it, you need to seek for the help of an expert to help you configure your VPS. And secondly, calculating the amount of resources you need can sometimes be challenging for a VPS. So if you want full control of your server without spending hundreds of dollars or hundreds of naira on a dedicated plan, you can consider a VPS, and this option will definitely go well for the kind of website that you intend to run. Now we are going to be talking about the next one on the list right now, which is dedicated hosting. So we've talked about shared hosting, we've talked about VPS hosting. So in shared hosting, we talk about how you share servers with other users, and VPS hosting, how you also get a virtual private server for yourself. But shared hosting is actually a premium type of hosting, in the sense that with a dedicated hosting, you will get exclusive access to a single server, which means you're going to be getting all to yourself. So this is a premium type of hosting, and this requires a lot of money to actually purchase an hosting like this. So now we'll be talking about what you need to know about dedicated servers. So the dedicated hosting or dedicated servers are basically the top of the line option for web hosting. So at this level, you can expect to pay at least maybe $100 per month, or even more than 50,000 naira per month, to actually have an hosting server all dedicated to your website or to yourself. So if you are launching a new website as a hobby, a dedicated server should not be the right option for you. So you can consider using a shared or going for VPS. But dedicated server are for websites that are going to have massive traffic, massive users, websites that are going to have a lot of information, a lot of data. So this is actually the right option for you. So with the help of dedicated server, you are going to be having powerful features, which means your website can accommodate anything. No matter the traffic, it can actually accommodate it. So that is the purpose of dedicated hosting. Now the pros of dedicated hosting is that you get your server to yourself. In most situations, you can configure your server to the way you want it, and of course you can also get uncapped bandwidth. What that means is that you get unlimited bandwidth. And the disadvantage is that it is very expensive. So that's the only disadvantage of our dedicated hosting. And dedicated hosting is the right choice for websites that require the very best when it comes to performance. So performance is the major key of dedicated hosting. So when it comes to performance, and of course if you have the budget for it, I recommend you go for dedicated hosting. So it's actually the right choice for such a huge website. So guys, now that we have talked about all types of hosting, now I'm going to be recommending a platform where you can get hosting plans. The platform is very reliable, and of course their services are very affordable. Now we are going to be talking about the platform right now. And guys, the name of this website is ModeWebHost solution, and the website URL is modewebhost.com.ng. So when it comes to buying of domain, buying of hosting plans, and of course buying of a business emails, you can consider this website modewebhost.com.ng. So if you would like to purchase any of the hosting plans that I have discussed in this video, you can go to this website to purchase any of these plans, and they are very affordable and very reliable. So guys, that's all for this video. If you have any question regarding this video, please use the comment section to ask your question. And if this is your first time in this channel, please do well to click on the subscribe button, and of course share and like this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.